Now it's time to tip the men's games.
Bank it ourselves, Chief.
I have Strathmore Community banked one of these games. You have as well. Now, this is Love the Game rounds this weekend. One of the
Tell me about it, Chief.
Statewide themed rounds driven by AFL Victoria. The EDFL is adopting this as well. This one's all about loving the game and not the odds.
Yep.
Adam Russell, we know the issues that can occur with problem gambling, particularly in sport. So we're encouraging a positive message around loving the game and not the odds and all that sort of stuff. It's driven by the Responsible Gambling Association of Victoria, the Victorian Government initiative. It's all sort of running through that. There's a bit of stuff on our website at the moment about it if you want more information. That's what we've got coming up this weekend. Now, in Premier Division, it's actually a split round.
There is.
Only 2 games to tip this weekend in Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division. These are the games we have on offer. Strathmore taking on Aberfeldy. It will be at Lebanon Reserve, but originally fixtured once upon a time for Windsor Hill. So if you've got the old flip...
The 3-panel?
The fixture.
Yep.
It'll say Windsor Hill.
Do not
Cross that off.
Do not come to Windy Hill.
There's a little asterisk at the bottom that says subject to change. Well, this one changed.
It changed.
It's now Lebanon Reserve. Strathmore taking on Aberfeldy. A 15-point win for Abbas back in rounds 1. I say Abbas does it again, and I say the margin might be a bit similar, if not a little smaller this time around.
Yeah, I think it's a really intriguing game to see where Strathmore are at. Obviously, had a couple of good weeks in a row now and a big challenge against the Tide. Just it's travelling along pretty nicely at the moment, but I can't see Aberfeldy losing. I will tip the Gorillas.
I think Lebanon actually suits Aberfeldy more than Strathmore as well. Strathmore like bigger decks.
Yep.
And Aberfeldy don't mind sort of where they play. But
they're pretty versatile, yeah.
But if they can sort of squeeze you up on a smaller deck like Muskoma Street, then maybe that's advantage Aberfeldy there.
That back 6, just being able to patrol that smaller ground.
If they're all available.
Yep.
I think Ryan Allen's still not out there at the moment.
No, not at the moment.
Craven might have an injury concern maybe as well.
See how he pulls up,
EDFL teams. Keilor take on Glenroy in the other game at Joe Brown Oval.
Chief, I had my doubts on Keilor last week.
You're not doing it again, are you?
I'm not making
You're not Strathmore Community Banking.
There is no chance I'm making that same
I don't
mistake.
think I would accept the Strathmore Community Bank in this game because you can't tip an obvious favourite for your Strathmore Community Bank, and I think Keilor is here.
Yeah, I can't tip Glenroy, and I think if I tipped Glenroy and I banked it, they'd probably pull out a 202-point win, Chief, just to show me up.
Blues will win that one. The other 3 games will take place next week, which means these 4 have a 14-day break before they front up again for rounds 11. The other 2 divisions, full schedule of games. Let's go to Division 1. Our broadcast game live, 2 p.m, 98.9 Northwest FM. Watch it on facebook.com/Essendon DFL.
Yep.
Poz is back. Poz had a week off.
Yep.
We missed him.
I do listen to the podcast every Wednesday morning.
No doubt he didn't miss us.
Hopefully he's tuned in and he's kept across all the EDFL news.
And Tim Solly's back. He made a glorious comeback to the match of the day this weekend. So Tim Solly and Travis Posnahovsky, your callers for Tullamarine and Craigieburn. This is one of the great rivalries, Sprouts.
Massive game.
Grand finals, a prelim last year between these two.
Yep.
2 clubs that don't really like each other.
Not a whole lot.
A lot
of talk about them pre-season.
One of the great modern rivalries of Division 1 EDFL football. Tullamarine, Craigieburn. Tulla is hosting Craigieburn in very good form at the moment. So is Tullamarine. Injury concerns for both. That's why I'm tipping Craigieburn.
Just the one loss this season, Tullamarine, it did come across from this side, the Craigieburn.
And it wasn't a close game
it was
from memory
pretty comprehensive.
as well.
It was, I reckon, maybe 10 goals sort of region. And
can't see Tullamarine making up the ground here.
I'd love to be able to jump in time and see the teams that are named on Friday, but I think Tullamarine with a couple of players that are more likely in doubt than coming back, I'm going to tip Craigieburn as well,
Craigieburn all around there?
Yes.
Hillside and Taylors Lake, speaking of rivalries.
2 teams that do not like each other.
The annual Pink Ladies Day as well this weekend, so the umpires all pink.
Fantastic.
Predominantly female umpiring panel. Hillside have the pink tinged jumper as well, which they've worn for a couple of years
white
as well.
And pink, is it normally?
Teal, no, it's the normal teal, white, black. There's just a bit of pink around the edges and I think a pink lady logo in there as well. So that's what Hillside's going to be wearing against Taylors Lakes. Good Friday was an upset.
Yep.
Remember the Good Friday result, but this time around I think Hillside gets the chocolates and they need to.
I'm pretty bullish on Taylors Lakes at the moment.
Upset? It's definitely a danger game for the Sharks, but are you going that far?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions.
You're going to take the Lions?
I think they're going to do the sweep on Hillside, which the Sharks will not like one bit. But yeah, from what I've seen in the form line the last couple of weeks, I think there's a lot to like about Taylor's Lakes, and I think they'll get the win.
Roxburgh Park is taking on East Keilor. This is rivalry weekend almost in because the old Division 2 rivalry when these
had
two
a couple of really good games.
played a couple of grand finals against each other in Division 2.
Vince Madaffrey kicked the winning goal.
Yes, in 2016.
Old mate Crazy Eyes.
Great call, by the way. Is that Crazy Eyes, is it?
Crazy Eyes. Vince Madaffrey, yeah.
He's Crazy Eyes. That is right from the broadcast game this year. I remember that.
Yep.
Roxy, East Keilor. East Keilor won the first time around, obviously. It's going to be a tough ask for the Magpies here, even though it's at Lakeside Drive and the Magpies do play well at home.
I'm pretty sure it was a fairly hefty margin last time around. I think Roxy will get closer on this occasion, but the Cougars will get the win.
Finally, Westmeadows and West Coburg, and it is a clean sweep of rivalry games because of all the play movement that occurred over the summer between these two sides.
They played an absolute ripper-dipper
a lot of guys
this year.
Playing against each other. We broadcast the game earlier in the year at Coburg City Oval, and that was a 3-point win for the Tigers, I think, that day against West Coburg. Tigers win this one, but this is a real danger game. And I said earlier in the show, if you're going to tip an upset, although you tipped Taylor's Lakes, which I didn't see coming, but if there is a good upset tip, it might be West Coburg to beat Westie here.
Well, that being said, Chief, bank it sound effect, please. Westmeadows.
Strathmore Community Banking Westmeadows. I'm happy to accept that because
it's a close game. There are a lot of close games across all three divisions this weekend.
Yeah, on form, West Coburg is probably coming in better form right now, but the Tigers would just like to bounce back here.
Yep, I think I'm definitely a little bit more bullish on that Taylor's Lakes upset happening. The West Coburg one is definitely in play, but I'm a little bit more confident just banking the Tigers in this occasion.
Just quickly before we go to Division 2, quick shout out to Gareth Hanlon, who has stepped down as the Westmeadows president. He's been in that role for a little while now. He was, for me, particularly helpful with Dane Swan. And when Dane Swan played those couple of games and we broadcast those games, Westmeadows was very accommodating of that.
There at Willowbrook.
And the whole lead up, they gave me access to Dane for a one-on-one interview prior to those games. And Gareth Hanlon was a big driver of that. One of the better presidents, one of the better men of the EDFL. He stepped down as president of Westmeadows. We thank Gareth Hanlon for his support of the league, of the Westmeadows Football Club, obviously, but a fan of EDFL media as well. Well done to you, Gareth. Let's go to Strathmore Community Bank Division 2. It is a big game between Burnside Heights and Moonee Valley. The Heights got the win early in the season. As we know, that was when Josh Cavalli was in fine form, and the Academy's just done great things.
He's doing well
for Josh Cavalli since you visited halfway through last year. This one is at the Den. And I'm going to tip Moonee Valley. I am very, very bullish on Moonee Valley, as the EDFL Tonight audience will know. They're coming off some mixed kind of form, but I still feel like in a season where the second best team in it might still be up for grabs, I suppose the other grand final spot to take on the Sunbury Kangaroos. By the end of the season, I can see Moonee Valley being in that spot, but they need to win games like this. I think they're a big chance. I'm even going to Strathmore Community Bank them.
Jeez.
I'm locking in Moonee Valley to beat Burnside Heights this week.
Ned Wilson, chance back this week?
Maybe a chance, according to the reporting of Luke Danello.
Was named in the team 2 weeks ago, but didn't make the final 22.
He's been among the ins on EDFL teams for a while now.
So he's definitely roundabouts.
The old Ducks and Drakes, and I wouldn't put it past Shannon Carroll. He's capable of doing that sort of thing. He's one of my favourite coaches, Shannon Carroll. He really is. I was actually reading some of the quotes that he gave the leader newspaper regarding Ned Wilson. You know how you can read a quote and sometimes you can actually hear it. You can hear the quote.
Pictures you can see. You sort of see an image.
It's like that. But when I read Shannon Carroll in print, quoted, I can hear him saying it. He's a fascinating character, Shannon, and obviously a big fan of us, and he gave us that spread when we broadcast Moonee Valley v Coburg Districts.
Looks after us very well, both on and off the field.
Don't let me down, Shannon. I am Strathmore Community Banking your mob to beat Burnside Heights. How do you feel about this one, Sprouts?
It's going to be an absolute classic contest. A really hard game to split. Probably almost the game of the weekend. I reckon it'll be the one I'll be following closest on the team app. But I'm gonna tip Burnside Heights. I think the Bears at home will be too good.
That's a genuine 50-50, and we're split on that one. Hadfield takes on the Northern Saints, and this smacks of a major danger game
Yep.
for the Northern Saints. Hadfield might be treating this as their grand final.
Hadfield, they're a team that, a big win last weekend against Keilor Park, a side that has pretty high aspirations for this year, probably won't play finals, but I feel like one of those little KPI boxes they'll be wanting to tick off would be to knock off a side that's going to finish top 4 or thereabouts. And I think Northern Saints are definitely one of those teams and a real chance to do that this weekend. I think the Northern Saints will bounce back after a disappointing loss against Sunbury Kangaroos last weekend, but I feel like it'll only be a couple of goals in it.
We saw Avondale Heights get their pants pulled down on EDFL match of the day.
Yep.
Come back and almost beat a final/premier contender.
Yep.
I think the Northern Saints might do something similar here and bounce back in a big way after an embarrassing showing in a broadcast game. So the Northern Saints will win this and might win it well. But so I expect Hadfield to push them all the way. Hadfield had a better start to the year than what they're sort of producing right now.
Yeah.
I know they've had lack of continuity in their fixture with the buys and whatnot, but I'm feeling like the Northern Saints should still win this one.
I think there will be a strong talking to the Northern Saints boys tonight, and maybe it's selection on Thursday. There'll be a couple of bring your mouth guard type situations, but
as it should be.
I think they should. They'll bounce.
Their colours were
Saints.
lowered in a big way against the Sunbury Kangaroos. Finally, speaking of the Kangaroos, Sunbury Derby 2.
Massive.
It's the first ever day game played between East Sunbury and the Sunbury Kangaroos at Goonawara.
Last time it was under lights at the Pouch.
It was under the Pouch. I can't believe we're still going with that. What happens here,
It's better than the bucket, Danny.
Yeah, that's shocking. The Thunder need to bounce back. I thought they were starting to come good after the win against Burnside Heights.
They won't.
What's the margin then?
10 goals, if not more.
I'm thinking it might be a bit more.
You reckon a bit more?
12, not much more. Maybe 12 to 14 in that range perhaps. But
okay.
East Sunbury, they're a proud club and they're on their home deck. They love their home deck. It's a sort of deck that suits their game style, but Sunbury Kangaroos played at big grounds quite well.
I think it'll be a smaller margin from last time around because of those factors. East Sunbury in a bit better form this time around at home, but it'll still be a convincing win to the Kangaroos.
And anyone in the EDFL family hasn't been to the Pouch yet.
Yep.
It's a very big ground.
Yep.
It's a very big ground. So that's not going to daunt them at all when they go to East Sunbury. Keilor Park and Coburg districts have the bye. Thank you, Sprouts.
Thank you, Chief.